Hello, everyone. This is Greg Swartz. I'm the director of the Water of Life, and usually I'm here with a guest, and I will be tomorrow. But right now, I wanted to make a little video on my own to talk about the event we have coming up, but more importantly, to talk about Jim McEwan. Now, when we set out to make this film, we never once said we wanted to make a story about Jim McEwan. We never said we wanted to make a film about Brooke Lottie. And I would say that the film isn't about either of those things solely. But both of those things became so compelling and so interesting to us that while we were shooting, and certainly while we were editing the film, they really almost demanded to be front and center in our storytelling. And as you may know, because we've been talking about it quite a lot, Jim has decided that it's time to sort of step back from the world stage and become a private citizen and actually, retire. And I wanted to say a little bit about the last couple of years of my life and my relationship with Jim, and I really wanted to share this with with our fans and with Jim's fans that happen to come across this. So, so what I wanted to say is this: the day that we met Jim for the very first time, our producer Leslie Ann asked him what he saw as his legacy, and when she asked this, he was in a hard hat, standing in front of the then work site that was Ardnahoe. He was in the final stages of designing the stills and creating the spirit plan for what would become Islay's ninth distillery. And this was after his industry-changing turn at Brooke Lottie, which came after decades running Bowmore. But did he mention Ardnahoe or Bowmore or even Brooke Lottie when she asked him that? He did not. He said, and this is a quote, I remember verbatim, he said, "It's the 100 jobs that I helped to create on this island. The jobs that keep 100 families here instead of being forced to move away to find work." And he didn't have to think about it for a moment. And over the months that followed, as I got to know Jim a little bit better, I used to try to decide whether Jim loved Islay more or whiskey more. And then one day it just dawned on me that to him, they're not different things. They're inextricably tied. And I think that that's why Islay breathes so much in the whiskey he makes. I think it's why so much that it's all tied up in this. It's not, I hate to, calling it a brand would cheapen it. It's just his style. It's just like Picasso had a style. It's just like Frank Sinatra had a style. It's just like Edith Piaf had a style. It is their thing, and it's calling it a brand, like I said, just kind of cheapens it. And Jim has decided, like I said, that after like so many of us spending a year away from his family, especially his grandchildren, that he wants to go leave the world's whiskey stage, become a full-time husband and grandfather, and I also know that he's a very passionate hiker, and I think he wants to spend the rest of his life doing those things and not doing constant Zooms, constant whiskey events. And he'll be the first to tell you that he retired 6 years ago, but he's never really left the whiskey world. He's never really left us because he has a huge generosity of spirit, and that's kept him opening up new distilleries on 2 different continents, by the way, making a movie with us and writing his autobiography. He hasn't exactly been retired in the sort of taking it easy sense of the word. So, for now, no more. And it feels absolutely perfect that this is his final public event. And he has 2 final public events coming up, and they're both fundraisers for Scotland's charity air ambulance. And, I can't think of a more fitting charity than one that is literally an emergency lifeline between Islay and the mainland of Scotland. And it can be the difference, I think on a place like Islay, it's really literally the difference between life and death. And Jim came to us a few months ago and said, at the end of May, I'm going to fully retire. And so he's doing 2 events. You may know this. I'm actually going to bring up a little bit of a banner here to show you where he's going to be doing on May 22nd. Jim's releasing his personal cask collection with Dram Full, and on May 22nd, he's doing a master class of the next release of those whiskeys. And then on May 23rd, he's going to join us for what we're calling a last chat with Jim McEwan. It's going to be a talk. It's not a tasting. We are selling whiskey, which I'll explain in a moment, but this is not a tasting. It's a talk, a few stories, a few laughs, and we have a few surprises before Jim's going to head off into the sunset, hiking on the cliffs of Islay, like he does in our film. We teamed up with the publisher of Jim's autobiography and with Udo Sontag, his co-author in the book, and ourselves. And what we did is, with Dramful's help, we built some whiskey tasting sets, one of which is already sold out. But we put those together to sort of tell the story of Jim's life in the form of drams. And we're not going to go through these at the event. These are for you to enjoy by yourself, to save, to drink with the film, drink while you read the book, drink when you want to think about Islay and think about Jim, or just drink when you want to taste some great whiskey. But we're also decided that we're going to just sell tickets to the event, because a lot of people have bought a lot of whiskey and have done a lot of things, and they don't necessarily want to miss out on this, because this is literally going to be the last public appearance that Jim McEwan's going to do. And so we wanted to be able to maximize the amount of money we could raise for the charity without locking people out, just because some parts of the world they can't get the tasting set. Sometimes they couldn't get it in time. I mean, it is only a little over 2 weeks away. So what we thought is we'll just sell the tickets straight away. They're all on the site that you see below me right here. And we will invite everyone to come in on, I think it's 9 p.m. British time, BST, 4 p.m. the East Coast of the U.S., 1 p.m. where I am on the West Coast of the U.S. on Sunday, May 23rd. And we have some really fun, exciting things to share. But, you know, like I said, it's also a really big part of Scotland's charity air ambulance, which I really wanted to show these. They sent us some killer photos. And if you guys are Islay fans, you might recognize the mountains in the background there. But I do think that it means the world to Jim. I think it means the world to a lot of people in Islay. And I think this is a really great, truly touching way for him to say farewell to Islay. I'm sorry, not to Islay, to saying farewell to the whiskey world, saying farewell to all of us. And really, I think he's given us enough. And the beautiful thing is, you know, Jim may not make appearances anymore, but his whiskey will. And that's going to be around for a long, long time to come. So I hope you'll check out the event. I hope you'll join us. wateroflifefilm.com/partners/ALC, a last chat. That's the abbreviation we've been using. I did get a comment. While I'm here, if anyone has any questions that you'd like to ask me, I'd be happy to ask them. Yes, I see our producer Alphonse has put the link in the chat as well, so you can go straight there. And I also see that Ricardo in Colombia is saying hello. Buenos dias, Ricardo. I really, truly hope you'll join us that day, because I know that it's going to be a great day. It's going to be a lot of fun. And like I said, we have some cool surprises that I'm not going to give away right now, but I am going to keep teasing them. And I also know that, you know, Jim's always a world-class entertainer, and he's going to show up and chat with us for a little bit and then say goodbye to everyone. So anyway, thank you so much for your time. I'll be back tomorrow with Mickey Plummer from the Mackmyra Distillery. Mickey's a great friend of the film and the brand ambassador for Mackmyra, and we're going to find out a little bit about Swedish single malts. So hope to see you guys on Sunday the 23rd. Talk to you soon. Bye.